The facts you have gone out with such infinite trouble were in failure to pinch. The facts you have gone out with such infinite trouble were in failure to pinch.
No cop responds more readily to care for husbandry and skillful cultivation. No cop responds more readily to care for husbandry and skillful cultivation.
Alex captured her hand and forced her to drop the potatoes. Alex captured her hand and forced her to drop the potatoes.
The chief industries are weaving, leather making, dyeing, and working in iron and pottery. The chief industries are weaving, leather making, dyeing, and working in iron and pottery.
Our young people need education and more organized activities. Our young people need education and more organized activities.
His tone tonight was nothing short of jealousy. His tone tonight was nothing short of jealousy.
May the love of those around you help you through the days ahead. May the love of those around you help you through the days ahead.
Words can't express how sad we are to hear of your loss. Words can't express how sad we are to hear of your loss.
The given bar graph and map illustrate the population by income level for China and Indonesia in the 1990s. According to the diagram, the income is divided into the four consumption level I.T: low income level, middle income level, high income level and no data. Furthermore, the low income was doubled in the year 2004 compared to 1960. In 2004, the middle income level was 2.4 thousand million, where around 1,000 million in 1960. Overall, there was 20% of the growth for high income in the year of 2004.
The given line graph represents the world population in a billion for the year 1970 and 1990. In 1970, 38% lived below the poverty line, in a world with lower incomes and fewer people. By 1990, the poverty rate had fallen to 26%, but due to population growth, the number of poor was the same. The UN goal is to have this proportion to 13% by 2015. Overall, in 1970 and 1990, the world population was 1.7 billion and 5.3 billion respectively.
Teaching is one of the largest professions across the world, as they are responsible for shaping one's career along with teaching them good values. According to the table, around 89% of employed in teaching field. Furthermore, approximate 7% of the graduate students choose to teach the students. Overall, the least number of final year students who want to be a teacher.
The given line graph represents the life expectancy at birth for males and females from 1888 to 2013. In 1888, life expectancy for males was around 50 years, whereas the life expectancy for females was around 45 years. Furthermore, in 1963, life expectancy for males was approximately 70 years, whereas the life expectancy for females was approximately 65 years. Overall, I would like to opine that the life expectancy was highest in the year of 2013 for both males and females.
The given table shows the most native speaker languages in the world. According to the image, there are the top 5 native speaker language: Mandarin Chinese, Hindi, English, Spanish, Bengali. Furthermore, English is the largest language in the world, if you count both native and non-native speakers. If you count only native speakers, Mandarin Chinese is the largest. Overall, Bengali is mostly spoken in India and Bangladesh.
Innovation equals invention. And let me just stop here. Innovation equals invention. Often people mistake these two things for the same thing. Innovation equals invention. They are not. Innovation is something that generates value for the world. It makes something faster, better, cheaper. It gives someone some great satisfaction. An invention is an idea, a technology, a patent. In and of itself, it does not generate value. So these two are not the same thing. And sometimes you see them interchanged, and that's not correct. So innovation equals invention times commercialization. So, and when we look at this equation of innovation, something of value, it requires a new idea, and then it requires someone or some organization that is going to commercialize that idea and to make it of value to the world.
What I decided to provide is the steps that I take when analysing my own questionnaires. However, before I begin, it would be useful to remind you of a few terms we use when talking about questionnaires. Questions can be divided into 3 types. This is sometimes called level of measurement. Firstly, we have category type questions, which are also known as nominal questions. These are when participants select from a list of categories for their response. such as male or female, or they may include ethnic origin. Secondly, we have ordinal type questions. These are similar to category questions, but instead of the categories being independent, there is some sort of order between them. If we ask people to indicate their age in categories, this is an ordinal type question. Thirdly, we have continuous questions. These are any question that can be answered by a number. It could be an open-ended question asking participants to tell you how many times they attended lectures or how often they used a VLE. Or it could involve asking them to rate the importance or intensity of some experience. The reasons I reminded you of these types of questions is that our choice of question dictates the types of analysis we can use. Therefore, it is important to get our questionnaires correct in the first place.
What we're going to discuss today is how the Port of London was discovered and what we discovered about it. Now, if you look at the historical records of Roman London, there's only about 14 actual references to London in antiquity, i.e. contemporary references, and of those, only one is in the 1st century. There are none at all in the 2nd or 3rd century. There's only one in the late 3rd century, and there's 4 in the 4th century. So if you're a historian trying to write a history of Roman London, it's very difficult. You don't really have much data. You're going to depend on the archaeological evidence, the material evidence of the port and indeed the town to have any understanding of what happened then. And so what we're looking at here is how did we discover about the Port of London? There's no historical documentations, no customs books, no tariffs, no idea of the taxes. We have to understand the port entirely from the archaeological evidence. So that's what we're going to do today.